how we support the Steamboat Sailors. We feature all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more. Call them today at 879-7614 to schedule a service appointment with one of our expert technicians or a free in-home estimate for a whole new one. Hot Stuff loves My Steamboat Sailors basketball and is happy to keep this valley safe and warm. Hot Stuff Hearth and Home, located just off Highway 40 next to Walgreens. Go Sailors!
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
So you're giving up? Just like that?
Giving up on what?
I'm getting an inheritance from a distant relative.
Don't you think if there were a billionaire in the family, we'd know about it by now?
Listen to me. We are one phone call away from riding horses on our own private polo grounds. One call from christening yachts, having a butler, using summer as a verb.
How do you figure?
Look, everyone's got a rich uncle somewhere. It's statistics. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for the inevitable.
Right, which is why I thought maybe it would be smart to take control of my finances. You know, start using a budget, get out of debt, set some retirement goals.
Budgets? Debt? You watch your mouth. Retirement shouldn't be a goal for us. It should be a way of life.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
I'm Terry, and this is Phil from Russell's Auto Salon. If you need help with your auto collision repair, we make it easy. Just bring me an email and a claim number, and I'll take care of the rest.
Russell's Auto Salon, Colorado's premier collision center, leading the industry in technology, where we've gone green with enviro-based paint, and we are proud supporters of Steamboat Sailors Sports.
Russell's Auto Salon, where we always meet by accident. 879-1515.
Russell's Auto Salon.
879-1515.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYU Sports on FM.
My name is Josie Foote and I'm a junior. My number is 33 and I play post. I played basketball for 4 years. I also like to play soccer. Outside of school and sports, I'm involved with NHS and Model UN. I'd like to go to college somewhere on the West Coast, and I will not play sports in college. In 10 years, I see myself having a job, hopefully. My favorite subject in school is math. My favorite movie is Surf's Up. I like this movie because of Chicken Joe. Last summer, I went to France. So in France, I saw the Women's World Cup, and America won. Woo! Go USA! My goals for this season are to score points and not let points in and let George not get mad at me. My goals for life are to have a job somewhere and have a family. What I will remember most about being a sailor is all the good times we had as a team. I'm Josie Foote, a junior, and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hey, Sailor basketball fans, PJ Wardson of Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all of our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM. Steamboat High School Athletics are an example of our genuine hometown. Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown banking. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
The team of Mountain View Car Wash and Detailing Professionals is proud to be supporting Sailor Sports this season. Whether a basic wash or a full detail, we know that the key to providing you with excellent service is teamwork and attention to detail. So while the Sailors are focusing on cleaning up the competition this season, we'll be focusing on cleaning up your vehicle. With affordable washes and a wide variety of detail services, we have the game plan to fit your budget and needs. We are located at the corner of Highway 40 and Trafalgar Drive. Mountain View Car Wash, where there are no Hail Marys, just awesome touchdowns. Dances.
Steamboat Ace is a proud sponsor of the Steamboat Sailors. That's not the only way Ace supports the kids in our community. Hi, Bridget here from Steamboat Ace. We are so proud to be a part of the Steamboat community. It's our priority to support and encourage positive activities and hobbies for our youth. How do we do that? In addition to local scholarships, Ace invites the sailor community to fundraise for their activity or club by providing a great venue and supplies to host a hot dog or bake sale. I love it. Every weekend I can shop at Ace and support a great cause. Steamboat Ace, you're proud to support the Steamboat Sailors shopping place.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier.
My daughter working was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, I went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hi, my name is Katie. I'm number 11 and I'm a senior this year. I play shooting guard, I play guard, and I also like to run cross country and play lacrosse. Outside of school and sports, I'm also, actually no, I don't have a life outside of school and sports. I would like to go to college at school lines, probably. I think I'm going to actually, that's a hard question. Will I play in college? Probably not. In 10 years, I have no idea where I see myself. I can't even figure out where I want to go to college, so my favorite movie isn't Spider-Man Homecoming anymore. I found a new movie. I saw Spider-Man Homecoming, by the way. Something About Mary. I think it's called Something About Mary. No, is that the name of the movie? Can we please stop? It's something like that. It's the funniest movie I've ever watched. Please go watch it. Last summer, oh my gosh, I went to a nerd camp at School of Mines and it was the greatest experience ever. Absolutely loved it. And my goal for the season is to be able to play. I tore my ACL in April, so I hope that I'm able to get back and play this year. And my goals for life are to be happy. And what I remember most about being a sailor is my time with my school. all the team dinners that we've had, all the opportunities they've taken to make fun of me. My name's Katie. I'm a senior in high school, and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hey, Sailor basketball fans, PJ Wharton of the Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. The Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all of our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM. Steamboat High School Athletics are an example of our genuine hometown. Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown banking. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
Steamboat Ace is a proud sponsor of the Steamboat Sailors. That's not the only way Ace supports the kids in our community. Hi, Bridget here from Steamboat Ace. We are so proud to be a part of the Steamboat community. It's our priority to support and encourage positive activities and hobbies for our youth. How do you do that? In addition to local scholarships, Ace invites the sailor community to fundraise for their activity or club by providing a great venue and supplies to host a hot dog or bake sale. I love it. Every weekend I can shop at Ace and support a great cause. Steamboat Ace, you're proud to support the Steamboat Sailors shopping place.
The team of Mountain View Car Wash and Detailing Professionals is proud to be supporting sailor sports this season. Whether a basic wash or a full detail, we know that the key to providing you with excellent service is teamwork and attention to detail. So while the sailors are focusing on cleaning up the competition this season, we'll be focusing on cleaning up your vehicle. With affordable washes and a wide variety of detail services, we have the game plan to fit your budget and needs. We are located at the corner of Highway 40 and Trafalgar Drive. Mountain View Car Wash, where there are no Hail Marys, just awesome touchdown dances.
I'm Terry, and this is Phil from Russell's Auto Salon. If you need help with your auto collision repair, we make it easy. Just bring me an email and a claim number, and I'll take care of the rest.
Russell's Auto Salon, Colorado's premier collision center, leading the industry in technology, where we've gone green with enviro-based paint, and we are proud supporters of Steamboat Sailors Sports.
Russell's Auto Salon, where we always meet by accident. 879-1515.
Russell's Auto Salon.
879-1515.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hi, I'm Rose Epstein and I'm a junior at Steamboat Springs High School. I'm number 32 and I play the post position. I've played since middle school and all throughout high school so far. I also like to mountain bike in the summer and hang out with my friends. Outside of school and sports, I'm also involved in helping my brother who's special needs. In 10 years, I see myself in school, working probably and trying to make a living. My favorite subject in school right now is math.
She got me on that one.
Probably because it's a challenge,
Definitely
but I
got me on that
really
one.
like it. My favorite movie is Bridesmaids because it's all I can always laugh. Last summer, I mountain bike raced like every weekend. It was super fun. My favorite race was probably Powderhorn because we had a lift service access and I got second place. My goal for this season is to average more points than I did last year, probably 2 points a game. What I'll remember most about being a sailor is all my friends I made and the sports that keep us a family. I'm Rose Epstein, I'm a junior in high school, and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM. Steamboat Sailors Basketball on KTYV Sports on FM is brought to you by
Valley Bank, Hearts at Home, Alpine Lumber, Celebration, Mountain View Car Wash, Steamboat Ace Hardware, Russell's Auto Salon, Mountain Mattress and Furniture, Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rental, and the Paley Group with Colorado Group Realty.
Steamboat Sailors Basketball on KTYV Sports on FM at 105.7 and SteamboatRadio.com.
Now let's go to the booth for the call of Steamboat Sailors Basketball.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Loan Epstein along with Ryan Hansen in the booth here at Roosevelt High School, where your Steamboat Spring Sailors are just underway in what is looking to be a tough matchup against the Silver Creek Raptors. Sailors going with a different starting five here today. Jake Kreisig, Cade Gideon, the freshman, Ethan Piles, Connor Hansen, and Eric Pollard getting the start for the Sailors. Ryan Hansen in the booth with me. Ryan, how are you doing today?
Doing very well. Thank you, Owen. How about you?
I'm doing good, Ryan. What do you think about this lineup that Coach Van Daal's got out there for the Sailors?
I think it's an interesting look, looking for more length than speedy guard play. But even with that length comes Piles' speed, and as well as Connor Hansen relatively quick. But bringing Jake Kreisig back into the lineup, I do like to see that.
Cade Gideon getting the start again. Connor Hansen with the first bucket, with the second bucket for the Sailors here this afternoon as he bangs home the three-point shot. Let's talk about the freshman sensation. I know that his whole family's listening right now. Shout out to his dad, Dave. He's in Steamboat, I believe.
The man.
And his grandmother. Cade Gideon is a kid who's getting a start here today. He started yesterday, and we were talking to him before the game. And he had a lot of wide-open looks in that game yesterday, a lot of wide-open looks that he passed up. And so I was talking to him today, and I said, Cade, if you don't shoot the ball 10 times this game, you're not coming back on the bus for this. So hopefully he shoots a lot more this game. But all jokes aside, he does bring a lot to this team. Just talk about him for a moment and what you like about him early in this season so far.
Yeah, obviously, just looking at him, you can tell he is a basketball player. He's got the height, the long arms, the wingspan, but he's also a smart kid. He's a really smart kid, and he can anticipate things and see what's going to happen and then make the best of that situation, whether it be offense or defense. As you saw last night, Cade got wide open looks multiple times. But another thing I really love about Cade Gideon's game is that he's a hustler. You see him down there with Eric and Jake Kreisig often fighting for the rebounds, and that's just something you'd love to see out of a young point guard.
Here's Gideon, dishes it to the corner. Connor Hansen gives it right back to him. Now they work it back up top to Jake Kreisig. Kreisig's going to cross over dribble, now send it back out to Ethan Piles. Piles steps back, tray ball on the way, nothing but net. So the Sailors coming out hot to start this one. They're going to go on an 8-0 run in this first quarter of action. 5:32 left to play. Let's see if Silver Creek can get anything going. Foul on the floor. And that's going to go against Andrew Duquette. Not sure what that call was.
I didn't really understand the hand signal either.
Now they're sending everyone back to the other end of the floor. Sailors are going to inbound it here. Cade Gideon's going to take it up the floor, moving left to right on your radio dial. Here's Gideon. Stutter step, drives in, and there's going to be another whistle called. It's an off-ball foul. This one goes against Eric Pollard. Illegal screen. 8-0. Sailors started off hot. Ethan Piles with a three-point shot. So did Connor Hansen. Connor Hansen, Ryan, he had a big game yesterday. You know, he had maybe the biggest game of his entire career. And, you know, part of that is just him having the confidence to shoot the ball 10 times a game. What's your take on that?
Yeah, exactly. He just needs to get those shots because, as Coach Van Dahl often says, he just needs to shoot it. He often says that no space is airspace for Connor, and he's said that multiple times. If anything, some coaches get mad at some kids for shooting a little too much, but it's kind of a luxury to have a player that maybe shoots a little bit not enough.
Eric Pollard going to inbound it from the far side. He'll give it to Gideon. Full court press in play here by the Raptors. Gideon's going to stutter step, dance his way across midcourt. Look for somewhere to go, surveying. Swings it into the corner. It's going to be Connor Hansen near side. Now over to Jake Kreisig. Work it around the horn to Ethan Piles. Back to Hansen. Hansen thought about diming up the three. Instead, he dishes it over to Kreisig. He's going to do it himself. And he rings the bell. Jake Kreisig with the cloud piercer. 11-0. Sailors pitching a shutout. Andrew Duquette, top of the keys. Moving versus Hansen. Duquette runs off the pick. Hansen stays with him. Good defense there. Dishes it over to Matthew Kolfgren. Kolfgren now back to Duquette. Duquette, top of the key, drives with his left. Stop, pop, 15-footer, no good. 4:06 to play in the first. Gideon back the other way for the Sailors. Ball's been in his hands a lot thus far. Tip pass over to Piles. 3-ball again. Automatic, baby. Sailors haven't missed yet. 14-0 against this Silver Creek team, and they just have no answer for the Sailors behind the arc. Here's Duquette driving in, and he'll draw the foul. Wow. Sailors are just on one right now.
Andrew Duquette going to the line. He's coming into the game averaging 18.8, so I'm sure Coach Van Dahl has based the scouting report mostly around him, as he's the only person on the Silver Creek team that's actually averaging double-digit points.
And so Duquette, his first one's good. He'll have one more. The foul was called on Kreisig. Kreisig's an interesting player. You know, we saw him go off in that game against Moffat County and Steamboat, and he had an unbelievable game, 20-something points. And, you know, since then he's kind of been quiet. And this is a kid, you know, he's 6'4". Sailors going into the timeout. He's 6'4". He's got a great shot. He's got great ball skills. He can dunk. He's got length to him. I mean, what do you see on this team? Like, why isn't he getting enough looks?
Yeah, for Jake, I personally know his play style really well, and just his thing is getting into the flow of the game. So he needs more minutes. But once he gets a solid 6-minute rotation, even, just he can feel out the flow of the game, and he can get his offensive game going. And as you saw on defense a few possessions ago, he's really versatile. He got that spike block. He can read the game so well, and he just has such a versatile offensive skill set that he can really give it to you any way you want it.
And if I'm not mistaken, he was your pick to be the main guy on this team going in before the season started.
Absolutely.
So Kreisig and Cade Gideon working the two-man game. It's sent into the corner. Connor Hansen's going to underhand pass this one over to Eric Pollard. That one's going to be stolen away. Duquette now quickly on the other end. Gives it over to Matthew Kolfgren. Now back to Duquette. Duquette guarded by Piles. He's going to pull this one out. Dish it over to Andrew Scott. Scott drives in with his left hand, puts up a floater off the backboard, and they're going to call a charge. Cade Gideon takes the charge. The freshman sacrificing his body in the paint, and it pays off. 14-2, Sailors up by 12. Full court press for Silver Creek, trying to cut into a double-digit deficit as Piles is going to bounce past this one over to Pollard. Just slips out of his hands. Butterfingers for breakfast as the Raptors take it the other way. Silver Creek coming into this game 2-2. The Sailors, on the other hand, 1-6. This would be a big win for Silver Creek. Silver Creek's a very, very good team, and you know, this is a team that they've played the past couple years of this tournament. And you know, last year I remember with Matt Riniker, with Tyler Dorn, with that whole historic Sailors team, they lost. Yeah. They lost to this Silver Creek team, and Silver Creek The Raptors ended up making a deep run into the playoffs. They had themselves a historical season. They're kind of two teams that are in similar situations in the sense that, this Silver Creek team lost a lot of their big-time guys last year, lost a lot of their players who were averaging 20, 22 points a game, and now there's a lot of young guys that are having to step up, and so Coach Bob Banning, he's really in the same situation as Coach Van Dahl in the sense that he needs to find his true starting five, and that's what this tournament has been for both these teams, just a matter of still getting the season underway. Sailors work it after the free throws, 1 for 2. The ball sent into the corner. Here's Gideon, had a look at it. He's just going to drive in, then dish it back out to Kreisig. Kreisig now is going to try to post up. He goes into the corner. He's got trapped. He's got 2 on him, and he's got to do something with it. Sends it over to Hansen. Touch pass over to Gideon. He lines up the 3 ball, and he banks it off the back iron, and the second attempt won't go either. Kreisig's able to get another board, and now they're just going to restart with Ethan Piles. Here's Kreisig again for 3. Yes, sir. You betcha. Jake Kreisig, have a day. Cade Gideon with a nice look on the other end, and I really like that. I mean, he went up and got his rebound. He just couldn't quite get the second attempt to fall, and he's gonna have looks though. He's gonna have looks.
Yeah, and the thing about both of those shots are those are easily shots that he can make. A wide open catch and shoot 3, and then he was quick on that rebound. He knew where it was coming off before anyone else did.
Connor Hansen trying to break the full court press put in play by the Raptors. Gives it to Gideon. Now it's over to Granger Rowan. Rowan back to Hansen. Hansen, black line 3. And that one's a little bit off. It's gathered by Silver Creek. They work it up the other end of the floor. Quickly now. Gideon on the closeout. He'll get a tie-up and a jump ball. Ethan Piles going to check in the game. Gideon will take a seat on the bench for a moment. So the jump ball is awarded for the Sailors. $1:25 to go in the first quarter. Sailors up 17-3. Surprising start here for Steamboat. Dawson Lindquist in the game. He didn't start tonight either. He's usually a regular. Hansen for 3 again. And it's just not even a question anymore of whether he's going to make it or not. 20-3. Sailors doing work from behind the arc. Wow. Five three-pointers in this first quarter?
5.
I mean, so they pretty much I think every point so far has been a three-pointer. $20-3, Sailors lead. It's Cade Gideon. Works it over to Piles. Now out to Rowan. 3 ball. Got it. Holy cow. This Silver Creek team, right, they're sitting on the bench over there thinking that they're playing Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Holy mackerel. Sailors can't miss from behind the arc. There's a post up, no good. Kreisig now, quick work. He's got 31 seconds to go in the first quarter. Goes behind the back, top of the key, loses it for a moment. It's on the floor, tied up, and they're going to give this one to Silver Creek. Get the foul on Jake Kreisig. And now Connor Hansen checks in for Kreisig. 25 seconds to go in the first. Sailors with a commanding 20-point lead. I mean, this is surprising. Silver Creek only been able to get 1 bucket so far. Here's Andrew Duquette. Stolen away again. Piles on the floor with it. It's going to be a jump ball. And they're going to give this one to Silver Creek. I mean, what did Coach Van Dahl say to this team before we left? Was there a separate meeting in the hotel that I was not aware of?
I don't think so, but a super interesting look. A completely different starting lineup. Yeah. No Dawson Lindquist in the starting lineup.
He ran with his shooters, and
it paid off.
It paid off, yeah. He ran with his shooters for sure. So Gideon gives it out to Piles off the inbounds pass. He's got 10 seconds on the clock. Piles drives with his left hand, switches back. He's going to drive in on the far side. Ball's on the ground, and the buzzer sounds. That'll do it after one. Sailors with a dominant 23-3 performance here in the second day of this Rough Rider tournament. Sailors, tough loss yesterday, and I mean, it seems like they've been able to bounce back thus far.
Yeah, they definitely had some defensive takeaways. As you can see, only 3 points allowed in the first quarter. I mean, this Silver Creek team is offensively skilled for sure, and to keep them that low, you can tell that Coach Van Dahl really went to work on the scouting report, and as well, the players also bought into it. As you can see, it's paying off.
So the Sailors looking to hang on to this, up by 20 points in the first quarter. And like we were talking about earlier, it was a completely different starting five, and we saw everybody hit threes. Granger Rowan, Ethan Piles, Connor Hansen, Jake Kreisig, Kate Gideon took a shot, followed it up. I mean, that was pretty much a near-perfect quarter of basketball.
Yeah, and
near perfect.
I mean, opening it up with that starting lineup, same lineup that finished the first quarter, pardon me, but the starting lineup of the game had just incredible length, which has been a facet of our program since Coach Van Dahl got into the head coaching spot all the way back to when John Rink was out there dunking on people.
So kicking off this second quarter, it'll be Cade Gideon and company. Gideon works it over to Connor Hansen. Hansen out on the far side. He'll go between his legs. Ball on a string. Looks over, finds Piles. Ethan Piles in the corner, surveying, looking for somewhere to go. Makes a man miss, pull up three, and he almost made it on the double hitch, the double clutch shot. Yeah, that was crazy. As the Sailors force another turnover. Lindquist now. Working quickly, moving left to right on your radio dial. Lindquist in the corner, gets trapped. Here's Hansen again. Bounces off the back iron a couple times, falls down. Gideon was fighting for the rebound. Now there's going to be a tie-up in the corner, and it'll be a foul on Dawson Lindquist. Reach in. Should have been a jump ball. So with 7:14 to play in the second quarter, 23-3 is your score. And it'll be Zach Nosen working it over for Silver Creek. Nosen finds Duquette. Duquette drives the baseline, puts up a shot. That one's good. Duquette with the nice lay-in, make it 23-5. Now it's worked back with the Sailors. Gideon, bounce pass over to Piles. Tips it back, tried to find Granger Rowan. That one's going to be stolen away. The Raptors trying to string some possessions together. Duquette, pump fake, drives in again, and he gets and it's going to be a charge. It's going to be a charge. So we saw Gideon take one earlier, and they get him again. So Duquette was doing his best to drive the baseline there, gets the charge. Sailors going to retain possession here. Piles looks over, finds Gideon. Gideon going to run around. He's way in his defensive zone. He loses the ball. It's stolen away, and it's out of bounds. Sailors going to lose possession here. They're going to give it to Silver Creek. Wow. So Gideon with just a little blunder there. And now Silver Creek gets a chance in the offensive zone. Inbounds pass over to Andrew Scott. Scott over to Carson Hills. Misses the 10-foot jumper. Piles is able to pull down the rebound, and he dribbles it out of bounds. Silver Creek can have another opportunity. Granger Rowan will take a seat on the bench. Kreisig checks back in the game. Carson Hills, inbound pass. Finds Andrew Scott. Scott in the corner, working around the Hills. This will be Matthew Kolfgren now. He's driving in versus Hansen, and he can't get that one to fall. Second attempt, that one goes. Dylan Johnson getting it to fall. Here's Piles. Kreisig drives in. Foul. Foul goes against Carson Hills. Both teams sitting at 5 fouls here in this second quarter. 23-7, 5:59 on the clock. Inbound pass over to Cade Gideon. Here's Gideon now back to Hansen. Hansen handles it near side top corner. Inside it, Kreisig tried to find Pollard. That ball's just tipped. Pollard saves it from going out of bounds, but the Raptors come away with it. And another shot off the glass, no good. Sailors able to save that one. Home run ball. Pollard, layup, got it. Ethan Piles with the vision.
That was a
nice pass. On the defensive end, 3 ball from the Raptors, no good. Pollard flies in for the board. Now it's Piles to Gideon, top of the key. Piles for 3, got it. Should have been an and one, honestly. Piles with a 35-foot jumper. That was an unbelievable shot. 28-7. Sailors putting on a clinic. Matthew Kolfgren works it over to Carson Hills. Now Kolfgren again between the legs. Drives in, kicks it back out. This time it's Dylan Johnson. Back to Kolfgren. 3 ball on the way, no good. And a timeout called by the Sailors. Sheesh. Dominant performance here early. Want to say a quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at steamboatradio.com.
Yampa Valley Bank, the Yampa Valley's only locally owned bank, member FDIC. Alpine Lumber, employee owned and operated, the contractor's choice, the homeowner's friend. Mountain View Car Wash, helping the Sailors clean the competition between town and McDonald's on Highway 40. Russell's Auto Salon, your premier full-service auto body shop where you always meet by accident. Russell's Auto Salon, 879-1515. Steamboat A's Hardware, the helpful place for hardware, plumbing, tools, grills, garden, and more by offering customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products.
So coming out of the timeout, Sailors going to have a little personnel change. Dawson Lindquist comes into the game. Cade Gideon will take a breather. Ball's going to be stolen away by the Raptors. Now they come back with it on the other end. Here's Matthew Kolfgren. Kolfgren guarded by Hansen. He'll go between his legs, pull up 3. No good. Just a little bit short. And now a whistle. So the whistle goes against Eric Pollard. I think they're going to get him for a push over maybe that or an over the back. Cade Gideon checks back in the game, as does Ethan Piles. Silver Creek has it in their offensive zone. It's thrown into Kolfgren. Quickly now to Andrew Scott. Inside, they're trying to find Tanner Call, and Call can't get it to fall. And another foul on the floor. This time it goes against Reese Rardin. Sailors regain possession. 4:08 to play in the second quarter. Here's Granger Rowan off the inbounds pass. Rowan, that's a hard foul, as Matthew Kolfgren was just choking Ethan Piles as he tried to corral that inbounds pass, and now Piles is going to head to the free throw line and shoot a 1-and-1. Frustration, tempers flaring for this Silver Creek team. I'm not sure what's going on. From what I've seen from this team the past couple of days, I mean, this is a very good basketball team. One that, is you would think would be competing better than this against the Sailors.
Yeah, I expected a much, much closer game.
I mean, no diss on the Sailors. Obviously, there's a lot of talent, but we are talking about a 1-6 Sailors team, you know?
Yes.
We'll see how the rest of this plays out. Piles misses the free throw, and it's going to be the Raptors on the other end of the floor. In the corner, it's Tanner Call. Now to Cam Hassert. Hassert working it far side top corner. He's got Gideon on him. Cam Hassert doesn't know where to go with it. Dumps it off to Andrew Duquette. DeQuette now surveying. Back to Dylan Johnson. Johnson inside. He's going to find DeQuette. And a whistle's going to be called there. Foul on the floor. This one goes against Granger Rowan. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Andrew DeQuette. Hanson getting set to check in, as is Jackson Metzler. Kreisig and Rowan are going to check out. So DeQuette at the free throw line hits the first one. He'll have one more. Ryan, what do you think? I mean, what's the big difference that you see so far in this game as opposed to last night?
The Sailors, they really came out and kind of focused on the defensive energy. They really kept it consistent with the communication. That was one thing we were both kind of talking about last night, is that their communication is where all their energy comes from. So that defensive communication in the first couple possessions really set the tone. But also, every single person that has shot a shot has trusted their shot to go in, and I think that is the most important part.
Yeah, confidence. Timeout called by Silver Creek, and they're going to have a moment to have some words with their coach, Bob Banning. Silver Creek, like I said, entering this game at 2-2, donning their maroon, silver, and black uniforms. Want to say another quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV. If you're just joining us, you can also find our live stream on www.steamboatradio.com. I'm Lowen Epstein in the booth with Ryan Hansen.
The Paoli Group. If you're searching for your own prime real estate, give them a call at 870-0552. Celebrations, formerly in Celebrations of Kids, is fun for kids of all ages. Check out the brand new arcade games, 1,600 square foot candy store, and 25 flavors of Hawaiian shaved ice plus more. Schedule your party today at steamboatcelebrations.com.
So out of the timeout, Silver Creek foul immediately. It's going to be another 1-and-1. I think this goes against Granger. No, this will go. This foul will be on Ethan Piles. So a 1-and-1 ensues for Silver Creek. First one, no good. That's off the back iron. Ball's going to be chased on the floor. And Silver Creek's able to come back up with it. Lindquist was chasing after that one. Goes into the stands, tipped out by the Sailors. Creek is going to have another opportunity here. Here's DeQuette from the far side. Andrew DeQuette slaps the ball, calls the play, looks for somewhere to go. Dumps it inside. This is going to be Tanner Call. Call posting up, misses the lay-in. Pulled away by Cade Gideon. Gideon now quickly dishes it down the sideline. It'll be Jackson Metzler in the far corner. Metzler handles it, holds it above his head. Pump fake. Now he dumps it inside. It's going to be Lindquist. Lindquist trying to post up, and that one's just poked away from him. There's going to be a kicked ball violation. Goes against Silver Creek. Sailors catch a break there. 2:31 to play in the first half. Both teams in the bonus. Sailors leading 28-9. A lot of game left as Piles dishes it over to Hanson. Now they work it around the horn to Gideon. Trying to find the open man. It's Piles back to Lindquist. Lindquist far side top corner gives it to Metzler. Now down low. Piles pulls the trigger, and he just missed that one. Barely grazes the front of the rim, but aside from that shot, Piles has been hot tonight. Silver Creek working. It's Zach Nosen. Nosen in the corner over to Cam Hassert. Hassert now back to Brody Cool. And Brody Cool, the 6'4" senior, is going to get called for steps. Sailors retake possession. Ryan, want to take a second to look ahead at this schedule for the Sailors. You know, this Roosevelt tournament is always a fun one. You get to play a lot of front range teams that we don't usually see throughout many games of the season. And Steamboat had a tough one yesterday against Pueblo County. You know, that was a 5-point loss. and one that came down to a few mental errors, few minor minuscule errors at the end of the game. And, that's a tough one, so I'm glad they could bounce back today. Tomorrow, boys are going to take on Niwot. That game will be at 1:20, directly after the girls. And that'll do it for this Rough Rider tournament. After this, it's straight into conference play, really the meat and potatoes of this season, as the Sailors handle it on the offensive end. Here's Hansen. Fouls on the floor, and he'll shoot a 1-and-1. Connor Hansen putting a nice game together for himself thus far, as the Sailors have held Silver Creek to single-digit points so far in this entire first half. Hansen misses the free throw. They get the rebound. Flips it over to Ethan Piles. Piles now down low to Cade Gideon. Gideon's going to look. Gives it over to Lindquist. Lindquist now back to Piles. Piles inside. Gives it to Pollard. Pollard posts up, and that one's sent into the stands. Big-time block there from Andrew Scott. Piles is going to inbound it again. $1:10 on the clock. 30-9. He gives it up top to Lindquist. Lindquist now works it around to the far side. That'll be Connor Hansen. Hansen crossover dribble, loses it, goes between his legs and out of bounds. So now it'll be Zach Nosen. One minute to play in the first half. Here's Zach Nosen. Drives with his left hand, goes straight to the rack. Can't get it to fall. Pollard's there for the board. Sailors just going to slow things down here, look to go into the locker room, still in charge of this game. Ethan Piles. Over to Gideon. Now Lindquist. And it was a double dribble called against the Sailors.
Yeah, Dawson kind of lost it as he was trying to pass it up to Ethan Piles for the three there, but kind of lost a little bit, got it back, then passed it again, and the ref said, no, sir.
Andrew Duquette trying to get his team into double digits. Dishes it off to Zach Nosen. Nosen up back to Duquette in the corner. He's guarded by Hansen. Spin move, step back, decides against it. Here's a three ball off the window, and Zach Nosen with the biggest bucket thus far for Silver Creek. Piles with the countdown on, in the corner. Hansen at the buzzer, no good. Can't get that one to go. Sailors going to head into the locker room with a 30-12 lead. That was a big-time first half for this Sailors boys team, both on the offensive end and defensive end. For Ryan Hansen, I'm Lowen Epstein on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at steamboatradio.com. We'll see you after the break.
The Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all of our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV, Sports on FM. Steamboat High School Athletics are an example of our genuine hometown. Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown banking. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
Steamboat Ace is a proud sponsor of the Steamboat Sailors. That's not the only way Ace supports the kids in our community. Hi, Bridget here from Steamboat Ace. We are so proud to be a part of the Steamboat community. It's our priority to support and encourage positive activities and hobbies for our youth. How do we do that? In addition to local scholarships, ACE invites the sailor community to fundraise for their activity or club by providing a great venue and supplies to host a hot dog or bake sale. I love it. Every weekend I can shop at ACE and support a great cause. Steamboat Ace, you're proud to support the Steamboat Sailors shopping place.
Hi, this is Grace. My parents own Hot Stuff Hearth and Home and proudly support the Steamboat Sailors. We feature all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more. Call them today at 879-7614 to schedule a service service appointment with one of our expert technicians, or a free in-home estimate for a whole new look. Hot Stuff loves my Steamboat Sailors basketball and is happy to keep this valley safe and warm. Hot Stuff Hearth and Home, located just off Highway 40 next to Walgreens. Go Sailors!
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
I'm Parker Lindquist. I'm a sophomore at Steamboat Springs High School. I'm number 35 on the basketball team, and I'd say I played power forward. So this year is going to be my first year playing on the varsity team. Outside of school and sports, I'm also involved in Venue Church. I volunteer there and participate. I'm not really sure where I'd like to go to college so far. We'll just see where life takes me. I'd love to play in college if given the opportunity. Basketball for sure. In 10 years, I'm not exactly sure where I see myself, to be honest with that. My favorite subject in school is I like computer science. That's my favorite movie, Ghostbusters. It's just full action. Love it. Last summer I worked at Carl's. It's a good work environment. And I hung out with friends a lot. My goal for this season is to get comfortable with varsity game speed and whole massive boards. My goals for life are, my main goal is just to be happy. What I remember most about being a sailor is bus rides and hanging with the boys for sure. My name is Parker. I'm a sophomore. I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
This is Skip Beardo from Alpine Lumber here in Steamboat Springs. Alpine Lumber is a Colorado company and is committed to being the best supplier of materials and related services to the professional builder and homeowner throughout the Yampa Valley, offering lumber and building materials, hardware, paints, and stains. And we are proud to support Sailors Basketball. Easy to find Alpine Lumber, located on Pine Grove Road past Walgreens. Alpine Lumber, employee-owned and operated, contractor's choice, the homeowner's choice.
Managing local land involves balancing resources such as agriculture, water, and wildlife. I'm Brian Ripley, and I have over 16 years of experience managing ranch resources as your neighbor here in Routt County. I'm the Ranch and Rural Property Specialist for the Paoli Group with the support of Colorado Group Realty. Put your trust in someone that has the practical experience and knowledge to help you with all of your ranch, rural, and equine property needs. I aspire to help you reach all of your real estate goals. I'm Brian Ripley, and you can find me at thepaoligroup.com in the Ranch Division.
I'm Terry, and this is Phil from Russell's Auto Salon. If you need help with your auto collision repair, we make it easy. Just bring me an email and a claim number, and I'll take care of the rest.
Russell's Auto Salon, Colorado's premier collision center, leading the industry in technology, where we've gone green with enviro-based paint, and we are proud supporters of Steamboat Sailors Sports.
Russell's Auto Salon, where we always meet by accident. 879-1515.
Russell's Auto Salon.
879-1515.
Hi, this is Cindy Hayek, owner of Celebrations and Steamboat Arts on the 8th block of Lincoln Avenue. We recently added a new candy store and pottery painting studio for individuals or groups of 12 people or less. Check out our new additions to the arcade. We have air hockey, dig dug, and Galaga. Book a party online today at steamboatcelebrations.com or call 879-3333. Mention this ad and receive 2 free tokens. I'll see you at Celebrations, 831 Lincoln Avenue. Open daily, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
My name is Sam Campbell, and I'm a sophomore in high school. I'm number 45, and I play post and center. I've been playing for 8 years, and I also like to play soccer, and I run cross country. Outside of school and sports, I'm also involved in orchestra. I play the violin. I've played it for 11 years. I'd like to go to college at Duke or UW. and I don't think I'll play anything in college, maybe intramurals, and probably either soccer or basketball. In 10 years, I see myself working in the field for marine biology, and my favorite subject in school is either Spanish or AP Bio. My favorite movie is Free Solo because it's super dramatic, and I love the people in it, and the soundtrack is amazing. Last summer, I went to a marine biology camp in North Carolina for 2 weeks, and we stayed at UNC Wilmington and did a whole bunch of field work on the beaches in North Carolina, so that was super cool. My goal for the season is to work on my shot form and become consistent, and my goals for life are being successful and happy. What I will remember most about being a sailor is all of the people that I play sports with. Like, I love the teams and I love the coaches, and just the team culture is amazing. My name's Sam Campbell. I'm a sophomore in high school. I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
The team at Mountain View Car Wash and Detailing Professionals is proud to be supporting sailor sports this season. Whether a basic wash or a full detail, we know that the key to providing you with excellent service is teamwork and attention to detail. So while the sailors are focusing on cleaning up the competition this season, we'll be focusing on cleaning up your vehicle. With affordable washes and a wide variety of detail services, we have the game plan to fit your budget and needs. We are located at the corner of Highway 40 and Trafalgar Drive. Mountain View Car Wash, where there are no Hail Marys, just awesome touchdown dances.
Hi, Steamboat friends. This is Charlie Green from Mountain Mattress and Furniture. Do you ever notice how grumpy your parents get when house guests arrive? Or how mean your big sister gets when you have to share her room for the weekend? I've got the secret to keep everyone happy. Stop by Mountain Mattress and Furniture on Loggers Lane for the best price and selection on Serta, Tempur-Pedic, and Simmons mattresses. Plus a great selection of linens and even comfy mattresses for the pull-out couch. If everyone sleeps, everyone stays happy, and a great mattress from Mountain Mattress and Furniture is the secret.
Steamboat Resorts not only offers a large array of properties that can host your next Steamboat vacation, we've been giving back to the Yampa Valley for more than 30 years. Hi, this is Todd Seepkin, Executive General Manager for Steamboat Resorts. Steamboat Resorts and its local employees have been partnering with our community since 1980, from Sailor Sports to the Pro Rodeo Series, Route County 4-H, and Yampa Valley Sustainability Council, to name just a few. Call us at 879-8000 or go online to steamboatresorts.com. Steamboat Resorts, your local lodging leader.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
My name is Shelby, and I'm a senior, and I'm number 30. I'm a shooting guard. I've been playing for 10 years. I also like to play lacrosse, and I run cross country. Outside of school, I'm involved with Youth Inspiring Change, and I volunteer at the animal shelter. I would like to go to CU, go Buffs. And I will not be playing in college. Maybe like a hiking club, rock climbing club, who knows. In 10 years, I see myself in the wilderness, guiding people through the mountains. My favorite subject in school is science because I love actual information and it's to the point. My favorite movie is Forrest Gump because it's a classic. Last summer, I went to Thailand. Did conservation and sustainability within the local people and the elements. And my goal for the season is to work well together and win some games. And my goals for life are to be successful in everything I do and hopefully travel the world and save the planet, you know? What I remember most about being a sailor is the family, the friendship, the lessons I learned. My name is Shelby Weiss. I'm a senior and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
This is Steamboat Sailors Basketball, brought to you by Yampa Valley Bank, Alpine Lumber, The Quarter Slice, Mountain View Car Wash, Russell's Auto Salon, Steamboat Ace Hardware, UC Health at Yampa Valley Medical Center, Chris Puckett at the downtown Edward Jones office, Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rentals, and Mountain Mattress and Furniture.
Now let's go to the booth for the call of Steamboat Sailors Basketball.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. Lowen Epstein live at Roosevelt High School, where your Steamboat Springs Sailors are in a tough bout with the Silver Creek Raptors. It's been a surprising first half, Ryan, well into the second half now. 30-14, the Sailors were banging threes home all day. I mean, just talk about it, what the shooters on the floor mean for this team. There's another one right there, Cade Gideon. First bucket here tonight.
Yeah, the shooters of this team are just hitting tonight, every single one of them. It seems like everyone on the floor has hit a three. You got Connor's got a couple, Piles has 3 or 4, Cade now has one, Jake Kreisig obviously spacing the floor very, very well tonight. But they've also done a great job of kind of getting it into Eric Pollard and using that, how the defense collapses down to Eric and double teams him. They've been using that to their advantage as well to get those open threes. And let me tell you, when they're open and this team is hot, they aren't going to miss too many of them.
Once again, if you're just tuning in, this is Lone Epstein along with Ryan Hansen on 105.7 KTYV. You can also see our live stream at steamboatradio.com. Turn over there for the Sailors. On the other end, it's going to be an and-one play for Andrew Duquette, who just went straight to the rack and draws the foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play. Carson Hill's getting set to check in the game here, as is Brody Cool. Piles, Cade Gideon, Eric Pollard, Connor Hansen, Jake Kreisig, and Dawson Lindquist. Sailors on the floor right now. Kreisig's going to sub out right as I say that. Lindquist will come on for him. 6:28 to play in the third quarter. Sailors doubling up here, 33-16. And Duquette hits the free throw. So Duquette goes 1 for 2 from the line. Now they put in play a full court press. It's going to be Cade Gideon from the far side. Gideon works it over to Ethan Piles. Now Piles inside to Eric Pollard. Work it all the way down. Here's Connor Hansen, and he's got the layup. Connor Hansen. Big time play for the senior. In the corner, it's Duquette driving in. Bucket's no good. Second attempt. Got it to fall. This time it's Tanner Call. Piles goes behind his legs. Now gives it to Gideon. In the corner, it's Lindquist. Back to Piles. Piles is going to dance with it for a moment. Drives in with his left hand. Puts up a floater, and that one falls as well. So that'll be enough for Silver Creek to take a timeout with 5:44 to play. 37-19. Sailors dominating. They're about to touch 40 points here, and we're going to be barely into this third quarter.
Yeah, barely into the third. 54 points a game is their average, or nearly at this, or 45, pardon me, is their average on the season. So 37 early on into the third. That's really impressive for what the Sailors are doing. Many Sailors fans coming down today. Got a whole Steamboat section right here to our left, Lone.
We do. There's a lot of Steamboat folks here, and we appreciate all of them for making the trip down for this game here today. 5:44 left to go in the third quarter. Want to say a quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at steamboatradio.com.
Hot Stuff Hearth and Home is locally owned and operated, featuring all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more, and always quality expert service. Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rentals. Friends coming to town, call us at 970-879-8000 for the Locals Connection discount. Mountain Mattress and Furniture, located on Loggers Lane, offering the best prices and service without leaving the valley. Shop local and sleep great.
There's a 3-ball on the other end for Silver Creek. Sailor's going to push the envelope. That pass from Ethan Piles is just going to be picked off right in the air. And now it's Andrew Duquette driving in. He'll draw the foul. This one's going to go against Steamboat. Let's see who they tag on this. So it'll go against Eric Pollard, and it will be a shooting foul. So Duquette heads to the free throw line for a couple. That's Pollard's third of the game. First one from Duquette, nothing but net. 37-20. 17-point game here in Roosevelt. Second one from Duquette. That one falls as well. Make it 37-21. Sailors going to try to break this full court press now. Silver Creek trying to come back in what would be an electric fashion. They only scored 3 points in the first quarter. Lindquist is going to dance his way across midfield, give it over to Cade Gideon. Gideon in the corner. Here's Hansen, lines up the tray ball. That one rims out. Silver Creek now back the other way. Here's DeQuette driving in, and that's going to be a foul called on Cade Gideon. So Gideon, who had his arms up in the air trying to tell the ref differently, DeQuette will head to the free throw line to shoot another pair. That's Gideon's first foul of the game. 37-21, 5:04 to play in the third quarter. DeQuette's first free throw falls. Make it 37-22. If you're the Sailors, Ryan, obviously you're holding a commanding lead, but Silver Creek's a team that they've kind of gone on a run the past couple minutes, and basketball is a game of runs. You don't want them to heat up. You don't want them to have a extended heat up time. You don't want to blow this lead. So if you're the Sailors, I think you got to keep the tempo. You got to keep owning the pace, and you got to keep playing great defense.
Yeah, great defense, and as you saw, they're shooting free throws. Andrew DeQuette has one of the smoothest strokes I've seen all year. He just has that smooth finish that Coach Kelly Meek, who's in attendance today, always preaches. And if he gets hot, he's their main guy. So that's the thing you'd like to see the least. But, yeah, as you said, keeping that tempo is really, really important.
So Piles loses the ball, and it's going to be awarded to Silver Creek. DeQuette with the pull-up three, try to go off the window, no good. Gideon pulls down the board, now quickly over to Ethan Piles. Piles on the far side, crossover dribble, he's just going to stop, slow things down, ball on a string, he's at the top of the key. Piles gives it over to Hanson, near side top corner, stutter step, he's going to go between his legs. Now they work it around the horn, it's back to Piles on the far side this time. Piles, pitch and catch, it's Lindquist. Lindquist now over to Granger Rowan. Rowan, the junior, looks inside, finds Gideon, kicks it back out. Piles for three. That just rims out. Gideon tries to fly for the rebound. Nothing doing there, and now it's Andrew Scott on the other end. That ball goes out of bounds, and they give it back to the Sailors. So a big break there for the Sailors, and now we're going to see a platoon change here for Silver Creek. It'll be Reese Rardin coming in along with Cam Hassert, Austin Peter, and Matthew Kolfgren. Still a full court press for the Raptors. Inbounds pass over to Connor Hanson. Hanson gives it back to Lindquist. Lindquist now going to split the defense. He'll bring it beyond midcourt. Lindquist driving in. Physical layup, and he'll draw the foul. Dawson Lindquist with the rack attack. 4:02 to play in the third. 37-22. Hanson, Piles, Lindquist, Rowan, and Gideon. Your Sailors on the floor right now. Tomorrow they'll take on Niwot in this same gymnasium. That game will be directly after the girls' game at around 1 o'clock. So Lindquist goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. And now on the other end, let's see if Silver Creek can come up with anything. Foul's called on the floor. Are they going to give him a shooting foul for that? Indeed they will, and this will go against Cade Gideon.
Gideon didn't even leave the ground.
I didn't even see him in the play. So the second foul on Gideon, 39-22. Sailors still in command of this game. No worries yet, as Carson Hills, the 5'10" junior, knocks down the first free throw. Now Hills once more, second attempt. Got that one to go. It'll be Jake Kreisig inbounding it for the Sailors. Kreisig looks up, gives it over to Cade Gideon. Gideon now going to turn around. He gets trapped in the corner, got to do something with it, puts the ball on the ground. Rowan's there to save it, and he tips it out of bounds. Silver Creek going to get it back. Ethan Piles checks in the game. Gideon will take a seat on the bench. Carson Hills on the inbounds pass. Jackson Metzler going to make a late check-in as well. Granger Rowan will take a breather. Carson Hills on the inbounds pass. Looks to his left. Finds Cam Hassert. Hassert's going to spin around, give it back to Hills. Hills drives the baseline, kicks it to the corner. Kolfgren for three, no good there. And Metzler's able to pull down the rebound. Hanson goes between his legs. Shifty drives in with his left hand. Wide open shot for Lindquist. 3 ball on the way. No good. Kreisig's there to get the board. Kreisig looks inside, tried to find Lindquist, and that ball's put on the floor. Silver Creek takes it away. And Hansen with the hustle play to snatch that right out of the arms of Reese Rardin. And now Reese Rardin.
They called a double dribble.
Yeah, they called a double dribble on that after Hansen took it away from him. Man, Hansen is hustling out there. Love to see it.
Got the black eye.
Yeah, he got the black eye. The kid looks like a goon, man. He just looks like he plays tough. I love to see it. Kolfgren now and company getting it started off for Silver Creek. Here's Cam Hassard. Hassard at the top of the key. He's guarded by Dawson Lindquist. Hassard gives this one over to Zach Nosen. Nosen drives in, fadeaway jumper, and he gets that one to fall over the top of Kreisig and Piles. That's a tough shot. 39-26. Sailors trying to hang on to this lead. Here's Lindquist for 2. Dawson Lindquist taking control. And now a jump ball is going to be called as Kreisig gets wrapped up under the basket. Another platoon change here for Silver Creek as they're going to have a completely new 5 going. some confusion as there was 10 Silver Creek. Did you see that? The entire team was on the floor for Silver Creek, and the ref tells them that they need to slow down and check in. So indeed they do. The Sailors handle the ball. It's Jake Kreisig. Kreisig goes between his legs. Man, he's nifty, and he gets that one stolen away. I spoke too soon. Bounce pass over to Andrew Scott. Silver Creek trying to get a bucket here. Scott tips it away. Here we go now. It's Brody Cool, and it's going to be a charge.
That was a great play by Jackson Metzler. He kind of saw him turn the corner there, so he just got to the spot, and even though he took off from a little bit further back than a typical layup you'd take off for, Metzler was already there, so the continuation of motion that knocked Jackson down got him the charge there. Great play.
Work it up now. It's Connor Hansen. Hansen with the sham god dishes it over to Kreisig, and now they give it to Piles. He'll just slow it down. 2:03 to play in the third quarter. 41-26. Sailors leading. They swing pass it. It's Piles. He's getting bothered near side top corner. Piles spins around, and he'll get called for a travel. Piles having some words with Coach Van Dahl. As you can see, he was a little bit frustrated after that play. Silver Creek now. They need a big-time shot. Here's Scott for 3. That won't be it. Hansen gets the rebound, and Gideon's able to bail him out of that one. Gideon works it up to Piles along the far side. Piles drives in. Wide open layup. And he misses it. Ethan Piles just maybe going too fast. He's going 100 miles per hour. Duquette works over. Duquette drives in. Duquette with the lay-in. That's Duquette for 2. 41-26. Buck 13 to play in the third. Sailors looking. Here's Kreisig. Kreisig over to Gideon. Gideon in the corner. Metzler, 3. Air ball. Silver Creek comes away once more. Andrew Scott. Scott to call. And they're going to get Tanner Call for a double dribble. Dawson Lindquist checks in the game. Eric Pollard going to check in as well. 56 seconds on the clock in this third quarter of action. 41-28. Dawson Lindquist from the baseline. Lindquist gives it over to Pollard. Looks up, finds Hansen. Hansen stops, hits the three-pointer. No effort needed. 3 to the dome, like Mello. All day, baby. And Silver Creek has just had nothing going their way. Andrew Scott with a nice little post play there. But Silver Creek, Sailors have just kept them at arm's distance since the game started. I thought that Silver Creek was going to make a run for it, and they just the Sailors just keep piling it on. 44-30, 21 seconds to go in the third. And so now Lindquist going to inbound it. Lindquist looks over, finds Hansen. They work it around the horn. This time it's Jackson Metzler. Gives it back down low to Lindquist. 15 seconds on the clock. Countdown commences. Here's Cade Gideon. Gideon dancing with it. Dishes it over to Metzler. Now back to Lindquist. Lindquist with his right hand. Off the window. You betcha. What a way to close out this third quarter. 46-30. Sailors heading into the final frame up by 16. Wow. I mean, this, I don't think it's really out of line to say that this might be the Sailors' best game all year.
Yeah, easily the best game all year. Against a very good opponent.
A very good opponent. One that they really just came out here and stunned tonight. I mean, Silver Creek is no joke. This isn't, you look at the schedule for this tournament and you see Silver Creek on there, you say, I mean, we got to be prepared for this game. And Coach Van Dahl, I mean, sure enough, he had them prepared for this game, so props to them. Want to say one last quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV. Once again, it's Ryan Hansen, along with me, Lowen Epstein, in the booth at Roosevelt High School, where your Steamboat Springs Sailors are in a close one with Silver Creek.
Mound Mattress and Furniture, located on Loggers Lane, offering the best prices and service without leaving the valley. Shop local and sleep great. Yampa Valley Bank, the Yampa Valley's only locally owned bank, member FDIC. Alpine Lumber, employee-owned and operated, the contractor's choice, the homeowner's friend. Mountain View Car Wash, helping the Sailors clean the competition between Town and McDonald's on Highway 40.
And so here we go. We enter the fourth and final frame of this one. Sailors looking to walk out of here with a big, fat W on the schedule. Up by 16. It shouldn't be too hard. All they've got to do is close this one out. As Silver Creek starts off with it. Tanner Call, post play. Tip in. That's good from Dylan Johnson. Gideon gets that one stolen away, throws it to himself. Now he looks inside. Lindquist with the fake pass, and he went straight to the rack. Second attempt, got that one to go, so good perseverance from Dawson Lindquist to stay right in the thick of things there and make it happen. Duquette over to Dylan Johnson. Now it's Tanner Scott. Got it. Scott for three, 48-35. You can feel the necessity for buckets in the air with this Silver Creek team. Hansen misses a three-point shot. At this point, Ryan, I don't know if three-pointers they're probably not the way to go at this point in the game. They've got you this far, but you had a good point yesterday. You don't want to live and die by the three, because more often than not, you're going to die by the three. And you've already got such a big lead. Why not just run your plays, go for the easy shots, which I think is probably the plan here. 6:41 to play in the fourth quarter, 48-35. Sailors dominating in the midst of a timeout here. Who's been your most impressive player for this one? This game's gone by fast.
It's hard to pick just one player, of course, because Ethan Piles hitting those 30-plus footers. Connor's had himself a nice game. Got some hustle plays in there. Got a few nice threes. Granger Rowan's out there hustling. Jake Kreisig, with the time allotted, has performed very well on both ends of the floor, but it's really nice to see Cade Gideon get out there and hustle around as he has, and finally let one go from three and hit it at the beginning of the second half here.
So 6:41 left in the ball game, and you can see the sense of urgency for this Silver Creek team as they make their way back out onto the hardwood. And you can tell that Coach Banning has his shooters on the floor. Matthew Kolfgren, Andrew Scott, Dylan Johnson, etc. So Silver Creek looking to come back here with 6:39 to play. Here we go. There's a three ball right off the bat. That one goes in. Carson Hills Off the window. Just like that, it's a 10-point game. Lindquist on the far side. He'll handle it at the top of the key. Crowd noise becoming a factor here as people are starting to get into this one. It's Gideon over to Metzler. Metzler pulls it out, work it around the horn. Gideon again, pump fake, finds Lindquist. Eyes up the three, dishes it inside, and it's stolen away. Silver Creek, bounce pass, and that one's just misses the mark. What a pass from Dawson Lindquist. He keeps it in bounds, and then Eric Pollard loses it for a moment. Last touch by Silver Creek. It'll remain Sailors ball. I don't think a lot of people understand how difficult that throw that Dawson Lindquist just made. Twisting, he did a full 180, threw it halfway across the floor from midair. I mean, that was a pretty unbelievable show of athleticism. Not sure what happened off that inbounds pass. Sailors will retain. It'll be Ethan Piles. Piles from the baseline with 5:56 left to play. Bounce pass over to Connor Hansen. Hansen works it around the horn. Goes back the other way now. It's Piles from the far side. He goes between his legs. Nice pass inside. He finds Eric Pollard for two. Back to a 12-point game. Carson Hills. Dodging defenders. Kicks it out. Lines up the three. And he can't get that one to go. That was Andrew Scott with the shot. Scott, the 6'4" sophomore. Between the two ways these teams line up physically, Ryan, it's a pretty even matchup. I mean, they've got a couple kids, Reese Rardin, Aiden Miller, both 6'6", Tanner Call, 6'5", Brody Cool, Andrew Scott, 6'4". They're very similar to the Sailors.
Yeah, because as you said, they're very similar. Jake Kreisig being around 6'4", 6'5", Eric Pollard 6'7", so it balances out, but also the guards match up almost exactly across the board.
So at the free throw line, it's Kolfgren. He misses that one off the back iron. 5:20 to play. Sailors first team to 50 here. 50-38 they lead. Kreisig checks back in the game. Quiet night for him. I'm really waiting to see his next breakout game. I think he might be the most fun player to watch on this team because he has the whole package. He can shoot. I don't know if I've ever seen someone of his stature dribble the way that he does. As that ball's stolen away, Silver Creek gets one in.
Yeah, exactly. The only person that I could possibly compare his play style to, as he gets a nice jam there.
And they're going to tee him up. So Jake Kreisig, we were just talking about him with the flush, and now they're going to give him a technical for hanging on the rim. And if you're not a big basketball fan, the rule is that if you have someone under you when you dunk the ball, you're allowed to hang on the rims so as to clear your landing. But I mean, come on, it's the kid's first dunk of his varsity career. Give him a break. So a couple technical free throws here for Carson Hills. He hits the first one. Jake Kreisig smiling, talking to the ref. Big time play for him. Gotta feel happy for him. He'll be talking about that all day.
Oh, yeah.
52-43. And it's back to a 9-point game. So you have to give credit to Silver Creek, Ryan. They've done a good job of trying to come back. They got caught way too far behind in the first. They were down by 20 points. And they've just been playing catch-up the whole time. And it just hasn't worked out for them. But you've got to give credit for their effort as Cade Gideon intercepts one. Gideon now at the top of the key. Stutter steps. Turns around. Gives it back to Kreisig. Kreisig now, I want to see him dunk it again. As here's Piles. Piles in the corner. Metzler. Backdoor pass is stolen away. Quickly now, it's Carson Hills. And the Jelly Fam layup, that's no good from Tanner Call. Nothing doing there. And now a whistle on the floor. This is going to go against Zach Nosen. If you're Silver Creek, you need to force a turnover here as quickly as possible. You have a couple fouls to give. Piles will inbound it. Gives it to Hanson. Now back to Piles. Little pitch and catch here as Piles brings it up the floor, moving right to left on your radio dial. And it's stolen away. Piles gives it up. That's Zach Nosen for two. He missed the layup. He missed the wide open layup. Unbelievable. Terrible shot. You've got to convert that. You've got it. It was such a great play from Nosen to pickpocket Piles like that. You've got to make that. You've got to bury that. You can't miss layups like that.
Very
That's tough.
important shot.
That's tough. 4:05 to play now. Sailors leading by 9. It's Kreisig over to Hanson. Steps back. Gives it to Lindquist. Lindquist with the turnaround floater, and he'll draw the foul. Looks like he's going to shoot a 1-and-1. This goes against Reese Rardon.
A little bit of confusion on the scoreboard here. The refs are unsure if the Sailors are in bonus or not.
The last time I looked at it, it was 6
to 5.
Yeah, it was 6 to 4, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was 6 to 4, and now they're saying... I thought the Sailors had 6.
I guess they just switched it.
I guess they had a mix-up there. So either way, Sailors no free throws. Instead, they're going to retain possession. Jake Kreisig goes in and out with the dribble, gives it back to Dawson Lindquist. Lindquist now surveying, looks, finds Piles. Piles holds it above his head, drives with his left hand. Backdoor pass finds Jake Kreisig. Kreisig now handoff back to Piles. Little pitch and catch here. Good defense from Silver Creek as it's Gideon. Work it around the horn. Gideon handles it now, far side, top corner. Gideon getting trapped, and Coach Vandal bails him out with a timeout call. Want to say another quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at SteamboatRadio.com. Sailors leading 52-43 with 3:23 to play in the fourth.
Steamboat Ace Hardware, the helpful place for hardware, plumbing, tools, grills, garden, and more by offering customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products. The Paoli Group, if you're searching for your own prime real estate, give them a call at 870-0552. Celebrations, formerly in Celebrations of Kids, is fun for kids of all ages. Check out the brand new arcade game, 1,600 square foot candy store, and 25 flavors of Hawaiian shaved ice, plus more. Schedule your party today at SteamboatCelebrations.com. Hot Stuff Hearth and Home is locally owned and operated, featuring all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more, and always quality, expert service. Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rentals. Friends coming to town? Call us at 970-879-8000 for the Locals Connection discount. Mountain Mattress and Furniture, located on Loggers Lane, offering the best prices and service without leaving the valley. Shop local and sleep great.
Sailors now coming out of the timeout. And they're going to inbound it here. So it's Dawson Lindquist. Lindquist drives in, puts up a shot. That's off the window, no good. Pulled away, it is Eli Hubert. Hubert getting his first minutes of the game, gives it over to Zach Nosen. Here's a three ball from Carson Hills on the way, no good. Pulled away by Cade Gideon. Now it's Kreisig. He gets the tie up, and it's a foul. So this will be a 1-and-1 for Kreisig. Coach Vandal, what did he say to him?
Well, Coach Vandal kind of motioned for Connor and Piles to come over, but I think Jake thought that was an invitation for him as well. He kind of came over, and Coach Vandal was like, "What are you doing, man? You got to shoot this free throw."
Free throw missed from Jake Kreisig, pulled away by Silver Creek. It's worked up to Carson Hillis, who looks to be the main guy on the floor for this Raptors team. And Carson Hills just drawing the foul. That one's against Piles. And that'll put the Raptors into the bonus. Piles checks out of the game with 3 fouls. Jackson Metzler checking in. Andrew Duquette coming in for Brian Silver. And it's Carson Hills at the free throw line, 52-43. Sailors hanging on to a 9-point lead. Hills makes the first one. They'll have one more. Sailors on the floor to close this game. It'll be Jake Kreisig, Jackson Metzler, Connor Hansen, Dawson Lindquist, and Cade Gideon. Second one from Hills. That one falls. They work it over to Gideon. Gideon cross court finds Metzler. Metzler's just going to pull it out and slow it down. Into the corner. Hansen, dagger, no good. Silver Creek really has a chance here. Eli Hubert, and that's going to be a foul. No charge there, much to the dismay of Steamboat fans, and rather they're going to give the foul to Jackson Metzler, who, man, I thought that was a charge. They collided pretty hard there.
Yeah, Jackson got pretty good position also.
So with 2:40 left to play, this is an interesting situation. It looked as though earlier in the game that Silver Creek had given up and that they were just throwing up lineups, trying things out. And that's still the way it looks, but they legitimately have a chance to come back in this game.
Yeah, it appears that A lineup has stuck, and the interesting thing that you're seeing is both teams going fairly small for their lineups. As you see, no Eric Pollard. And on the other side, you see no Reese Rardon or Aiden Miller out on the floor. So it's quick-paced basketball right now.
Hansen works it over to Kreisig. Kreisig loses that one, and that's another turnover. Silver Creek back on the other end. That's an easy bucket right there for Tanner Call. And just like that, it's 52-47. Here's Lindquist along the baseline. Lindquist with a clutch shot. 2 minutes to play, 54-47. Driving in, no good. Off the back iron, that's Duquette. And now Kreisig handles it, trying to avoid the trap. Pulls the ball away, splits the defense, gives it to Hansen. Hansen drives, and there's going to be a whistle called here. I think that if you're Silver Creek, you start beaming up threes. You put it in the hand of your best shooter, whether that be Matthew Kolfgren or Carson Hills or Andrew Scott. Speaking of them, Andrew Scott getting set to check in here as well as Matthew Kolfgren. And I think you just tell him to shoot.
Did someone get a technical?
So it is a technical foul against Zach Nosen. That's an interesting call.
I didn't necessarily see what
I didn't see it either. I think he had words with the referee, and I think that's what it was. I think he yelled at the referee, and I saw him kind of jarring back and forth over there. I didn't think much of it, but yeah, I guess they tee him up for it. So Connor Hansen shoots the free throws, and just like that, the Sailors have it once more. 1:40 left to play. Lindquist kicks it out. Hansen eyes up the three. Dishes it over to Piles, left side. Piles almost loses it. Goes behind his back, and it's going to be stolen away. And they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Stays with the Sailors. Piles just smiling through the hate. You can hear all the people chirping at him from the stands.
I think Coach Banning wanted that one to be a foul on Silver Creek so he could stop the clock and maybe put Piles on the free throw line.
Here's Connor to ice the game. Yes, sir. You betcha. Put a bow on it because this one's just about over as Connor Hansen hits the dagger with 70 seconds to play. To answer, no good. That was Matthew Kolfgren. Cade Gideon gets the rebound. He's fouled, and that should just about wrap this thing up. 1:02 left to play. 58-47. Sailors leading by 11 in what has been a sensational offensive performance for this Sailors team. I mean, wow. Going out to a 23-3 lead in the first quarter, continuing to hang on to it even when it got close. Silver Creek, the most they came was within 7. And that was in the fourth quarter. Sailors looking to be in good shape with 62 seconds to play. They'll look to move to 2-6 on the year. While Silver Creek will drop to 2-3. Go ahead.
One thing that impressed me about that, though, is once